I'm Sandra Åberg, portrait, fashion, and wedding photographer from Sweden. You're listening to the Workflow Podcast. We're just going to rock it.
We're just going to rock it. Sandra, this is going to be a lot of fun. Great conversation. First and foremost, we've been trying to do this for a while, and I'm glad we finally made it work. So it's going to be great. I have to know, how cold is it by you already? Because you're wearing a sweater.
I am wearing a sweater. It's because it's cold in my house. No, it's starting to get really quite cold, but we're still jumping in the lake, so it depends what cold is for you, but it's about 9 degrees here. I wonder what that is in Fahrenheit.
I will do a quick conversion.
Yes, please.
That is, come on, Google. That is 48.2. That is very cold for my taste, but
we go down to like minus 20. Okay. So for me, it's like, we're great. We're still fine. We're still jumping in the lake, having a little cold swim each day is really good for you, they say. This is what we believe.
So I have a neighbor across the street from me who's originally from Sweden, and she hates summer. Right now, the temperature has dropped to, it's 69 Fahrenheit right now, which is 20 Celsius. And this, she loves the mornings where it's nice and cold, right? Yeah. It's like chilly in the morning, but then it's still going to get up there another 20 degrees almost today. So
no, I love the heat. What a weird Swede.
She likes the cold. It's very funny. But anyway, so I'm excited about this. We're going to dive into your workflows, and you do a bunch of things. And so I'm excited to hear which way you take it, whether it's weddings, whether it's portraits, whether it's your commercial work. I'm excited to see where you take this in this conversation. Yeah. So let's dive into, what is one thing that is working really well in your workflow, whether it's behind the camera, whether it's the business parts, whether it's the post-processing parts, whether it's delivery, whatever it might be. What's one thing that's working well? The whole thing.
I'm definitely my best when I'm shooting. Mm-hmm. So whenever I'm photographing, I'm great. That's my time. I just get totally in the zone, in the flow. I love what I do, and I just kind of disappear into it. So for me, that's for sure where I'm the best in my workflow. Yeah. The before, let's say even a wedding or a portrait session, I'm pretty good at, I manage that well, and sending the contract and getting all that done. The aftermath is pretty much where my entire 18 years have struggled the most.
Okay, so we'll get to the struggle part at some point. But so behind the camera, you feel the most comfortable. Is there something that you do session after session, wedding after wedding, whatever it might be, that is sort of systemized at this point behind the camera that has helped with the comfort level to make sure that each job goes really smooth from behind the camera standpoint?
I think it's being really present. For me, that's what it is mainly. It's like being super present with the people that I'm with and really 100% giving myself to the session, if that makes sense. I'm like leaving everything behind. You have all stuff going on. Life is life, right? Like there's all kinds of stuff going on. And it's always been kind of an escape for me. So I fully just escape into the session, and I'm just in that moment with the people that are there, and I manage to somehow forget life. Well, it's really uncomfortable when I get out of the session and I'm like, gosh, yes, that's right. I'm like halfway breaking up in my relationships, or, life gets, and I can return back to it. But I think for me, it's being super present, being really there in the moment, whether it's a wedding or anything else. When I manage to do that is when it gets so beautiful, and the work is really profound, I think. And I have a few ways to try to get there, because obviously sometimes I'm running and I'm not relaxed or I'm not really present. So I try a lot of breath work. techniques to just kind of like, they can be like 5-10 minute sessions to just breathe before I go and meet with the client, so I can make sure I'm really there, like make sure I'm present, make sure I can be there with them for that amount of time. So that's like a big part of it for me, I think.
Are you, as somebody who's intentionally trying to be present with every session, every job, are you a camera up to the eye type of photographer, or a let me use a screen and keep the camera away from my face so they can see my face type of photographer?
I'm kind of both. So I used to shoot a lot of film. So film requires a slower pace and obviously a camera in front of your face. But it also required that I didn't shoot like 1,000 frames. I don't like to just keep shooting. I like to kind of put my camera down, talk to them, like connect with them, figure out where we're at, like especially in portraits more. And then I might, as we're talking, take a few snaps when I see what I'm looking for. But I think I'm more a camera to the eye, but with the occasional, when I feel like it also depends how people react. If I feel like they're pulled back because there's a camera in their face, I might pull it down.
Right.
And they can connect to my face rather than my lens, you know?
Yeah. You know, it's funny talking film, right? And film to digital, which it's interesting that film has made a comeback in a way. But the thing that I loved from when pre-digital was waist level finders, right? Whether it's a Hasselblad, whether it's a Rolleiflex, whatever, you're looking down at I have a Nikon F that you could replace the prism and viewfinder with a waist level finder. Okay. And I did on one of my Nikon Fs. And to me, having a flippy LCD screen sort of gives me that back, right? The ability to have my camera down lower and just peek down at it, see if the composition is where I want it without having it in front of my face. But I also go back and forth depending on the situation and the speed I need to be at the moment or whatever it might be.
Because there's a time for everything, right? Like during a ceremony at a wedding, I'm not usually shooting without having my camera. Like I need to see everything. I'm not missing a moment. Yeah. But later on, during a more relaxed time or where I really want to connect with the subject, I can put it down. And like with the cameras we have, with the iFind, you know, like it can do the work for you. It's not like you're there struggling to get the focus. Then you can do those things easier.
Yeah. The other thing is, so I do surprise proposal photography, and during the actual proposal, which is a minute of time, right? That's like the heart's racing, blood's pumping, you're getting that adrenaline rush, and you've got to make split decisions really fast. But at the same time, sometimes you need to run to adjust your positioning. And I find that during that minute, quite often I am camera away like this, not for the same reason as we just talked about, but because I don't want to trip and fall or step on something. So I'm kind of looking down, looking forward, looking down, looking forward to make sure. I photographed a proposal at a winery that also has a beautiful flower field. And at one point I had to, just like an orchard of some sort would have rows that you could like go down one row and then sneak through without destroying a plant to go to the next row. I had to change rows at one point. And if I didn't look down, I would have smushed a whole bunch of beautiful flowers. So again, there's a time and place for both.
I was like excited to hear the story of where you got stuck on the roses.
Oh boy, that would have hurt. But
right.
Yeah. So is there another part of your workflow? Let's say behind the camera, the business side of things overall. Is there a workflow somewhere there that's been working well for you time after time after time?
I think so. I come from a marketing and sales background. That's like my education. And I think that side of my business, I've always been really passionate about and really good at. I don't know if I have it down to a workflow per se. It's more like a bit of a messy approach to it. But I think that works really well for my business. Like Social media is a place that I do enjoy and hate. I think we all have that relationship with it.
Yep.
But I think it's like a necessary for us to show who we are. And I do kind of enjoy that process. And I do enjoy making a plan for my company. Like that's one thing that works really well for me, is setting an intention a year forward. Where do I want to be? What do I want to do? What are my goals? Like, especially within weddings, I do that every year.
So tell me about that. Are you doing that in a spreadsheet? Are you doing that just in like a slide, like a keynote type of thing to organize it and present it, even if it's just to yourself, in a way that you can be actionable in it? Like
old school. I'm
okay,
like
so
a paper kind of person.
That's cool.
I take like a big piece of paper. If I have like a big piece of paper, it works for me. And I put like, let's say Sandra Åberg photography here in the middle. And I make lines out to all the different things that I do in my business. And I highlight the ones that I really enjoy. And then I go, but these I don't enjoy. What can I do? Like, can I outsource this one? Do I need it? Like, do I want to just, like I did proposals. I've done that. I think it's super hard. Like all respect for that. It's not like it wasn't what I was the best at. So I maybe not show that so much, you know, because I'm like, I find it a little bit too anxiety provoking. And so I was like, and I did newborns and kids and family stuff. And I was like, nah, it's not really my thing. Like, I don't mind doing my couples that I've photographed their wedding. When they have a family, it's a different connection.
Yes.
So then in my little like kind of mood board overall, I take out what I don't, you know, like I literally crossed them off. I'm like, don't need this, don't need that. I'm going to focus on these areas and I'm going to build them. And then I write down numbers for what I want, how many weddings I want. Like next year, I want 6 weddings at the most. And I write that down. And then I figure out, what are these weddings, you know, at 6 weddings, the costs, the things, and which other things are then important. Like portrait sessions is something that I personally just enjoy more than anything. It's like my favorite thing, because there's such a good connection in a portrait session that you don't have on a lot of other shoots. And so I just I put that down as like this thing. And then I usually rewrite it to a more, you know, clear picture thing that I keep. And then I travel and I lose it and I have it on my phone somewhere. But I feel like I don't need it up on my wall. I'm not that kind of person. I mentalize that once, I'm good. Like I kind of have that.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, you do this once a year.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, twice a year.
And
you know,
twice a year sometimes. And is it like the beginning of the year? So like sometime in January, is this when you start that process?
No, I actually do it like now. I actually did it just the other day, because I was like, okay, this was this season. It's over for me. I don't have any more weddings. What have I learned? What have I discovered? What's important? Which people have I really enjoyed working with? You know, like all of that. And I put it down in like, these are my people. This is what's important. And then I move from there to plan my next year, which kind of starts now as I'm editing, which sucks.
Yeah. The items that you just mentioned, like newborn, for example, is that one that you're dropping for the new year? Or is that one you dropped from the past?
I dropped it years ago. I was like, that's not my thing.
Can you give an example of something that you decided through this brainstorming and mood boarding and whatnot of what you're dropping for 2026? So
I've decided that I want to do way less weddings. This year I did a lot of weddings, and as much as I enjoy the travel and all of it, I was ready to kind of cut down on weddings again. Not cut down on them, but have 5-6 weddings that are my ideal client niche, everything that I love about a wedding, and do 5-6 of them and be happy with that. Like that's on my, and then I literally write out 6 weddings.
Great.
And then I have a team that does all the other ones. So I have a little note and I write team. They can do 10 weddings, but I do 5-6.
Yeah. Okay, so you're business-wise, you're not cutting it overall down. You're just going to outsource to associates or
Yeah.
whoever. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. That's good. And so have you have your own associate photographers, or are these second shooters that you bring on here and there? Like, what's that look like?
No, so I have a team. So my company is called Atelier Åberg for weddings. Atelier Åberg in English. And that's just for weddings. So we do weddings all across Europe and the world. And I do a lot of the big weddings, always myself. And sometimes I send my team. So I have 2 girls in Copenhagen. I have 3 photographers in Italy that work for me, but they also run their own businesses. So it's all run by people that have been trained and worked with me for at least 2, 3, 4, some of them 5, 6 years.
Yeah, it's great.
So I trust them 100% to do a full wedding how I want it. And then I put them on the team as like first and second shooter, depending on how long they've been on the team.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. You mentioned that there's some struggles you have with somewhere in that sort of logistics part of the workflow. Can you dig into that? Like what has been the struggle, and how are you working on improving that?
So I think having been a photographer for 18 years, it has changed a lot. The struggle has stayed similar,
Okay.
but it's still changing, because the world is just different. But it's always in my post. That's like where I struggle, because my energy is lower on anything in front of a screen. Like it truly is much more difficult for me, which is why like this AI world has saved my existence.
Right.
It's still like a little hard for me to overcome the idea that I still think it is hard. Does that make sense? Like it's kind of stuck in me that it's a struggle. And so October hits and I'm like, like all the weddings that has to be ready, like now, should have been ready yesterday. Like that kind of feeling comes over me all of October and have for 18 years. So I still feel it, but now I'm like, okay, but there's solutions, remember that now we don't have to suffer the way we used to. Like I used to literally sit day and night and edit. And my son that just ran through here before, that got kicked out of the house, will be the first one to be like, my mom edits all the time. Like that's his existence, Yeah. And so I didn't like that. I was like, why am I this person that just is constantly editing or always needing to edit? It feels like I could never live a life in which I shouldn't have just been linked to my computer. And that part made me struggle so much. Like that was really has been one of the worst things about my job.
The fact that you're doing multiple type of jobs, right? You're doing weddings, you're doing portraits, you're doing commercial work, personal projects, you're speaking at events, like you're doing a lot of things, right?
And traveling all the time.
And for, weddings, you've got other people also working for you using their own cameras, their own lights, their own creative visions. As much as they want to align with yours, they're not you, right? They're going to be different in some way than you, right? And that is where AI really can come in handy to help. So it's great that you've already adopted that into your post-production. And how dialed in is your AI profile to handle not only your own photos, but to handle your associates' photos?
I think so. Everybody shoots Sony, which helps me a lot. So everything comes back similar, at least also in the color profiles. And we're all pretty dialed in on what to deliver, how. So it works, but I still oversee it. Okay. I mean, obviously it's not like fully automated yet, but I feel like also because my style has slightly changed in my editing. So this year I have updated my profile quite a bit from the other years. So I have a full-time editor, and then I have your wonderful thing that I couldn't live without, So it's like, it's both. So I have both, and she also uses it. So it's in that way we make it work, but it's obviously always something that, for me at least, it felt like until now it still needs a bit of tweaking. it needs a bit of help all the time to just get it to the point where I'm like, 100%.
Right,
but I think
right.
this year I feel way better about it than last year. Like it feels like it also evolves. Like without me knowing the technology, I feel like it catches up to me a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you would
for
know
sure.
the backside of that, but it feels
Yeah.
like it does
Yeah, it's
better.
going to keep learning from you as you upload final edits and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, it's
do you
important
think
to upload the finals, say, for it to really learn.
yeah, you have to upload the final edits and then eventually fine tune the profile for it to,
Yeah.
learn from all the changes. But do you think there's something missing in the industry or in any software that you're using that would help your post-production more than what you've got currently in place?
Just need like a full other person to take over my spot. Like, I think it's just still a bit of a hiccup for me as to sit down at the computer and be like, what do I do next?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing, but it's like kind of, I need to have that really set dialed down for me, like uploading the photos, pushing those. And once I've done it, but it's just, I don't do it all summer, let's say, because I'm traveling so much. So I send that all to my editor while I'm traveling, unless it's NDA and I do it all myself. So that process works really well with sending it all to her. Then obviously she sends it back and I just have to check it. And I go through every single image of everything that gets out of the office. Yeah. So if someone could be that person, like, I don't know if you could invent like a Sandra filter that could go like, we're checking all your images before they leave the office if they're 100%. Because that's what worries me with AI. It's like sometimes, of course, it can make mistakes. And I'm like terrified that it makes a bad mistake or my client doesn't look good in the photo, even though it's a different photo. Like, that's what I sometimes struggle with.
Yeah. Well, I think at least when it comes to Imagine, it's like we're not trying to replace you 100%. We want you to still be in control, still have the creativity. It would be interesting to see if there's some ways that we can help photographers overall with like the task part of things, right? Here's what you need to do after, you got back. Now, okay, now do this, now do this, now do this. And whether it is an ADHD thing, whether it's just
the
in general,
mind.
task management for creatives, I think overall is just a bigger struggle than non-creatives, right?
True. It really is true. The other day I had a photographer friend of mine in the US and we're just chatting and she's like, oh, I'm just bogged down with editing. And I was like, you got to try this. Like, I'm going to send you my Imagine, like the profile, the thing, just log in. And just from there to log in, like even there, she's like blocked. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh gosh, not another software, not another thing to do. I don't have time. I'll learn it on the other end. And I was like, no, just trust me this one time. You need to learn it now. Because on the other end of it, you're going to see that you're going to need it. And then next year, you're going to do it again. So I was like, take 1 hour. Just sit with me for 1 hour. She's like, oh, I have to upload 1,000 photos, 2,000 photos. Like there, she's just like,
Yeah.
And I was like, no, stay with me. We can do this. Like, and we got through it. And at the end of it, she was like, you just saved me like a week of work, for that one wedding.
And if somebody's using your profile, they don't have to upload any images to get started.
No, exactly. But she doesn't have the same editing as me. So I was like, you actually have to upload unless you can find one that fits. But just that, like, to give her that week to do other things.
It's huge. Yeah.
And she was like, I can't believe it. I'm so happy because I kind of had to like, had to stay with her and be like, no. Stay with me now. Let's go through this. You can do it.
Yeah.
And I see that that's kind of what we need. I don't know how you could manage to have someone to hold our hand to walk through those like uncomfortable steps that it is to kind of get into it. Because once you've done it, you're like, I should have done this 3 months ago. Like, why am I still struggling? And from time
it's
to
interesting.
time,
Yeah.
From time to time, I'm also like, I'm just going to select these photos by myself. I can do it real quick. And then I'm like 2 hours in and I'm like, wait, this is so stupid. back to what works,
Right. Yeah. Sometimes in a workflow, no matter what part, there's always going to be something that could fit in, right? But for some people, making a change isn't always for the best, right? If you've got your workflow so dialed in, maybe a change isn't necessary because it's working for you, right? But in other times, change could be for the better, right? If something saves you 5 hours, great. If something saves you 10 minutes, is it worth the change?
Exactly.
It depends on the situation. So it's all, and there's an episode, very early on episode, where I think it was with Mike Morby that I have to go back, and if for anybody listening, I will make sure I link to this episode in the show notes, where he talked about how he figured out, based on, created a spreadsheet and started tracking how much time it took him to edit, how much time it took to design albums, and all these different things, in order to then figure out, okay, I can outsource to here. It cuts my time down this much. I mean, this is total nerdy spreadsheet madness, right? But it worked for his business because he also had an editing business too. And he figured out where he could outsource and what software he could use to reduce the amount of time and potentially cost, because time is money as well, to make his businesses more efficient. And I just think some people can go the nerdy spreadsheet route. Some people can go a more like, I'm going to use the word holistic route, right? And be like, I know this is saving me 10 hours a week, right? And then boom. But there's different ways to figure it out. And I think everybody has to find what works best for them overall.
Exactly. Right? But it's also, it's always so scary to try something new. It can just seem so daunting. And I think as women, we're like, technical, like I'm not a spreadsheet technical person at all. So for me, it's like a new software, how overwhelming. Like already there, it took me a while to like be like friendly with it, because all I know is Lightroom and that works for me, or Photoshop or so. But now that I have that dialed in, it's like such a help. Like it really is such a huge help to just know that that can call for you. You look through, you're still doing a lot of the work. It's not like it's all done for you without your attention, you still need to be part of it, but you're not sitting there glued for eternity. Which is like my son's experience of me as a mom. It's like tied to the computer.
So I have two young kids under the 10 and under, and it's like in school when the teachers say like, what do your parents do? And my son was like, this is when my son was like younger, but he said, my mom's a teacher and my dad does this. So
I love it.
Now he says I'm a cameraman, but
see, that's better though. At least like better. That shows that you've freed up some of your space from that. Time.
Yeah, it's so funny.
But I have this wonder that some have been asked. Like I've been asked this question, and maybe you can answer it for me. It's very random. Can I answer? Can I ask you?
Yeah, sure.
So, if you have NDA clients, do you dare to upload them to Imagine?
So we have a lot of clients like yourself a lot of Imaginers like yourself that have NDAs, and Imagine's very secure. Like I can't access your photos if I even wanted to.
Okay.
So there are select people who can, with written approval from you, right? So our CS team, our higher tiered CS team members, like the team leads, if you had an issue with something, right, and this was an NDA, whether it's NDA or not, right, if you had an issue with something and our CS team needed to access your photos, they would ask for permission from you. You'd have to give it permission in writing, and then they'd have to go up to the next, to the team lead to actually like authorize that permission and make it happen. So it's a process, but like me, not on the CS team, I have access to nothing. So
I can upload all my naked photos for editing.
You could, if you really want to. But yeah, no, it's very secure. Like no one, even like other Imaginers, like everybody's bucketed into their own cloud buckets. Like
Yeah.
there's no
I
crossover,
just
right?
had someone ask me that, and I was like, geez, I'd never even thought of it. Like, I just kind of trust you guys to be
Yeah.
safe, but I hadn't thought of it. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, between NDAs and boudoir, right? And that
Yeah.
privacy. And I mean, we have a lot of fine art nude photographers as well. Like there's people who just need it and they need that privacy, and we give the privacy, right? We're not gonna.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not like somebody else's photos is even used to train your AI. It's all separate.
Within
right?
your thing. Exactly.
Yes.
Your funnel kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just so curious. I was like, I got to ask you.
Yeah, no, it's a good,
I
it's a
get
good
asked that
question.
a lot, and it's like a bit awkward that I don't know.
Yeah. No, well, now you know, and yeah. So let me ask you, am I correct that you're speaking at the Next Way Up North?
I am.
You
I'm
are.
speaking in
And-
Stockholm.
Yeah,
Yay.
it happens to be in Sweden.
Woo! Are you going to be there?
I will not. We will have team members there, of course, but I
Okay.
will not be there. I will tell you there's a lot of fun activities that we're doing there. So you're going to have a blast.
Oh, I'm excited.
Besides from Way Up North itself just being a fun event, you will have a blast with the Imagine team that will be there. So
Yay. I'm excited.
I wish I was going to that one, but I won't.
Oh, man.
Yeah, yeah. But this has been a fantastic conversation. I love hearing what's working, what's not working, and just celebrating the good moments of everything. So, can you share with everybody who's listening who doesn't know who you are, what your work looks like, where they can check out your incredible photography?
So I have two different kind of ways. So Sandra Åberg, which is me, I do a lot of coaching, workshops for photographers, a lot of that, and a lot of all my portrait work and creative work is within that kind of bubble. And then Atelier Åberg is all wedding. So I've just now, that's with a team, that's me, but that's like all wedding work over there. And I'm sure we can link to that. But so I've shoot a lot of weddings all over Europe mainly. I shoot a lot of private events all over the world, and a lot of NDAs and a lot of stuff that I don't show. And I prefer that my clients have that with me, that they come to me because it doesn't necessarily get shown. I think it's important in a world where everything is also to be praised, that we're also keeping something for our clients. So I'm just a happy Swede, really. I think it travels around the world and helps other photographers is probably my biggest passion. Like if I had to say what I do as Sandra, that's what I do. Like that's what I love doing. And then obviously I shoot weddings and love photography as well. So that's kind of who I am.
It's great. Yeah, I'll definitely link to both your sites in the show notes and all the places everybody can find you. Thank you so much for chatting with me and sharing your methodology with the world.
Thank you. I loved it. Thank you so much, Scott.
You have been listening to the Workflows Photography Podcast. To hear more from Workflows, to learn more about our guest, and for an exclusive offer for Workflows listeners, please go to workflowspodcast.com. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.